We start, though, with the Omicron surge here in South Korea. The nation is expected to see a drop in the number of new COVID-19 cases on Friday after Thursday saw the country post a record daily high of over 600,000 new infections.
Health authorities remain on high alert. They're also preparing to announce revised social distancing guidelines in the coming hours. For more on this, we turn to our Han Seong-woo joining us in the studio with us. Good morning, Seong-woo.
Good morning.
So how are things looking for today?
Well, Mokyeon, we're still in the middle of an explosive surge in cases due to the Omicron variant, but South Korea is set to see its daily caseload drop by around 200,000 from Thursday's all-time high of over 620,000. We are expecting it to be in the 400,000 range when the official numbers come out in an hour or so. Through 9 p.m. Thursday, the country logged 393,097 new cases, roughly 156,000 fewer than the same time on Wednesday, but about 1.5 times as many as the same day last week, and as well as the number 2 weeks ago. Health authorities are attributing the on-week uptick to both the adoption of rapid antigen tests for official purposes and the spread of what's being dubbed stealth Omicron. Take a listen.
The BA.2 subvariant's proportion in South Korea has risen from 17% in February to 26% recently.
Given the circumstances, they've acknowledged the peak of this wave could last longer than initially expected.
Seems that way. So speaking of Omicron, new research shows that an infected person can actually still transmit the virus after a week of first testing positive.
That's true, Mike. That's what health officials are saying. Omicron patients may remain contagious for up to 8 days after symptoms surface. In other words, there's virtually no risk of transmission 8 days after an infected person shows symptoms. That's according to South Korea's Central Disease Control Headquarters, which analyzed 558 samples from people infected with Omicron. The result caused some public confusion considering that under the current system, isolation for the infected is lifted 7 days after taking a COVID-19 test. Officials explained, however, that the variant's transmissibility drops significantly on the 8th day, to the point there's no need to extend the quarantine period. The study also showed people who've had 2 or more vaccine doses compared to the unvaccinated are less likely to spread Omicron.
Now, Seong-woo, authorities are expected to announce new social distancing measures later today. Tell us more on that.
That's right, Mokyeon. It's looking likely the cap on private gatherings will be expanded from the current maximum of 6 people to 8, starting Monday. However, business hours for restaurants and cafes will probably not be extended to midnight from the current 11 p.m. Quoting a government source, Yonhap News reports officials are considering easing one or the other, but not both, and that easing the limit on private gatherings is the likelier option. South Korea has recently been easing restrictions to regain some degree of normalcy despite the virus surge, largely due to the pressure from small businesses and the self-employed hit hard by the pandemic. As such, lifting antivirus curbs altogether was once considered a possibility, but the chance of that happening essentially went to zero in recent days, though, with daily infection tallies far exceeding initial predictions. Authorities had earlier projected the Omicron surge to peak before March 22nd, reaching a daily average of 372,000 before beginning to decline from next Wednesday. But those projections have, for now, proven to be far from the mark.
Well, another informative wrap-up. Thank you so much, Seong-woo, for the updates.
Thank you for having me.